offer isn't selling because you're literally selling like a teacher and not a drug dealer. So, and I've taken multiple creators from selling their info like a teacher into a drug dealer, and I've taken them and helped them generate 6 figures, and on top of that, won Alex Hormozi's school games. So let's get into it. That should give me at least a little bit of credibility. So there's 6 things that you need to stop doing if you want to sell your info like it's meth, but it's healthy meth because you're actually helping people. So 6 things you need to stop. Let's get to it. This is who you are and this is who you want to be, all right? So number 1, you're appealing too much to logic. People are not logical creatures at all, especially with, let's say, fitness, whatever. You're telling them, hey, you're going to be doing X, Y, Z in order to get X, Y result or Z result or whatever. It's literally 5:13 a.m. I haven't slept yet. This is going to be, we're going to have to get through this one. So just stick with me here. We're on like 3.5 brain cells. You need to be triggering, you need to be triggering dopamine, okay? No one cares. And when I'm talking about all of this, I'm specifically referring to how you position your offer and how you're selling your offer. However, there will be some references to other things that will be applicable, but mostly I'm going to be talking about offers here. So again, you need to trigger dopamine with your offer like a drug dealer sells his whatever drugs he's selling. So instead of making it seem boring, hey, this is, you're getting XYZ, you're going to need to eat 3 celery sticks a day, dip them in water, and that's how you're going to lose weight after doing that for 6 months straight. If you do that, you will not sell a single person. Obviously, I'm exaggerating, but you get the idea of what I mean. You need to be triggering dopamine. It's all about outcomes, what you're getting. No drug dealer is going to tell you, hey, your teeth are going to fall out, you're going to overdose on this. It's like, no, this is going to feel like you're riding a unicorn into the clouds while Jesus is singing in your ear. Like that's what they're going to be telling you. And maybe if it's a more high-end dealer, they're going to be telling you something else, but they're not going to be telling you, hey, your teeth are going to fall out, hey, you're going to lose everything, hey, your family's going to cut you off, hey, you're going to end up homeless. No one's telling you that. And that's the process. Or, hey, you're going to need to pay this amount, okay? You need to always think in what appeals to people's dopamine and outcomes. So, another thing, and I see this especially when I see a lot of like school communities or just people who are selling low ticket with their info products. Like, you're giving access to every single person. There's no exclusivity, no scarcity. Okay, maybe there's scarcity, but really like exclusivity around what you're selling. And I'm not talking about fake stuff, but if you're selling high ticket, okay, you're getting high. No, you're selling high ticket coaching service. It automatically makes it more scarce and status based. So what you need to do is you need to leverage that, because humans, everything that you do is for status. So the guy that buys a nice car, it's for status. However, the other guy who's shitting on the guy for buying the nice car, and he's like, yeah, this guy's a dickhead buying that nice car, he's also saying that for status. So basically everything anyone does is for status. And coaching, people use that because a lot of the time the creator has some sort of like B-list celebrity status or something like that. That's a big reason people pay too. They want to get close to that person. So leverage that, use that. And how this relates to a drug dealer is a lot of the time you can't just find the plug on Facebook. You have to know someone who knows someone, and then it kind of becomes like, when you finally are able to get to that drug dealer, it's like, okay, this guy, you value it more because it's a bit harder to get, and it's like there's exclusivity around it, and it's more, I don't want to say mysterious, but if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. Number 3, teachers market education. They give out your little syllabus, they give out your homework, hey, you're going to be doing this for the next 6 months. However, the drug dealer is marketing identity and addiction. So let's cover identity first. You are selling who they're going to become, not what they're going to learn, who they're going to become by doing this. Okay? Again, it always goes back to selling the outcome instead of the process. And when you can relate it to identity, you're going to become someone who does X, Y, Z. Now you're going to learn how to do this, this, and this. No, you will always want to relate it to identity. And where the addiction comes in is when you get people into your coaching or mentorship or whatever, now you can keep them accountable by, you kind of want to create a cult in a way where there's a collective movement towards something. And this will get people addicted to the process and want to get better and want to get results. And then you can implement different things to keep them accountable. Like a leaderboard for activity, maybe not activity because people just spam activity, but let's say like inputs. Who did the most, made the most content, who worked out the most, whatever your offer is, you're able to get them addicted, and you want to create accountability, pair people up. But people buy, this is also kind of low ticket versus high ticket in a way. High ticket, people are gonna just be more addicted to the process because they're paying more. They're paying for a higher quality drug. Maybe not higher quality, but a drug that's getting them more addicted because you have more skin in the game, if that makes sense. If I paid $29 for something, for some info product or whatever, some low ticket product, I'm not gonna like wipe my desk, get a map out on the table and be like, okay, this is how we're gonna get from X to Z. Like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm buying that and then I'm going back on my phone and scrolling and really not doing anything with that. But if you're paying like $5K and you make like 18 bucks an hour, that's minimum wage in like some US states. Maybe that's a lot for some people, but if you're making like 18 bucks an hour, then 5K to you is going to be a lot, and you will be fucking wiping everything off your desk, and you'll be like, how the fuck am I going to get from point A to point Z? Because you put so much on the line that now you're addicted to the process and you're going to get your money's worth. That's why high ticket also works so much better, because people are so much more committed and they're just higher quality clients. All right, let's do number 4. So offer clarity, or offers clarity. You're showing, teachers show everything. They give you the syllabus. Okay, you're going to be learning this, 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 and all this shit that no one gives a fuck about. Okay? No one cares about any of that. And I know this from personal experience, because I've joined mentorships and whatnot, and I have friends who have too. So when I say this, I'm saying this from personal experience, but I don't give a fuck what's inside the offer. I care what it's getting me. And when I know, okay, you're about to get 4,000 modules explaining every single thing, it's like, that just puts you off, and you do not want to go anywhere near that. You need to create some mystique around, I don't know if that's a word, mystique, we're just going to say it is. You need to create some mystique around what you're selling. Think about your middle school crush that was in a different classroom and you never talked to him or, you never talked to her or him. If you're the one girl watching this, then you never talked to him, or you're gay, I don't know. But the point is, since you didn't know a lot about them, you were able to create this fantasy in your head about, how this person might be, and just because of a lack of information, your brain fills it with fantasy and other stuff, and that mysteriousness, you want to apply that same thing to your offer. And remember, this is in an ethical way, because you're getting people, if you have a good product. Again, everything I say goes back to if you have a good product. If you're selling a fucking scam, then don't take my advice and don't sell like a drug dealer, because you're actually basically selling drugs at that point. But if you have a good product, then you want to get as many people in as possible, by maybe not by whatever means, but by these means, selling like a drug dealer, so that once they get in, they see what they have to do. But you don't want to sell every single thing they're going to have to do, because they're going to get put off. Just like you don't want to know everything about your crush before you met them, or you might not even want to talk to them at all. That lack of information creates the desire, and oh my god, why did I not uncover this? Creates the desire and creates the escape. Okay, you're selling the escape by having the lack of information there. So keep I wouldn't say keep things vague, but when you're selling the outcome, you're able to kind of not say you're going to get X, Y, Z, Z, C, whatever. It's 5:30 a.m., guys. Remember that. So, yeah. And then you're selling the effort as well. Teachers sell the effort. Okay, you guys are going to need to lock in. This is calculus. Like, it's going to be a hard class. It's going to be the hardest class you've ever done. And at that point, most people just want to die. That is not what you want to do. Once they get in, sure. But looping back, you want to just get as many people in as possible so that when they're in, you can reveal that. And then it's going to be, they already put the money on the line, so they're like, okay, I'm going to lock in on this now. And you're going to be able to actually help more people, although it sounds kind of backwards. But if you're like, all right, you're going to need to, okay, I can't even pull an analogy out of my ass on that one. I think you'll get the point. Again, sell the transformation. What are they getting? People don't want to buy the plane ticket. They want to buy what that plane ticket is getting them, the beach. They don't care that they're going to be, or they don't want to know that they're going to be on a 12-hour flight with a fat guy next to them and another fat guy on the other side, like, and you're in the middle seat. You don't want to know that shit. You want to know that you're going to be on that beach and hopefully there's no sharks in the water, but you're just going to be on a nice beach and you're going to be able to relax. That's what people want to know. Okay, so sell the transformation, sell the outcome. What beach are they going to be on? What's the weather? How nice is it going to be? Now you're going to be able to post that on your Instagram for clout, and the girls are going to love it and all that stuff. All right? And here's the sixth and final thing. So this isn't necessarily offer related, but the teacher builds students, people who think, okay, I'm getting into this class, I'm going to get the A+, I'm going to get whatever fucking grade, and then I'm going to get out. What you want to create is you want to create disciples or a cult. Those people who are addicted, every drug dealer has a community. It's almost wholesome in a way, except it's not really. But they have a community of drug addicts, and they all follow one belief that they love that drug. So what you want to, again, it goes back to the movement thing. You really need to get these people bought in that it's not just, oh, I'm not just getting a six-pack or I'm not just making money. It's like, no, I'm getting the freedom or I'm getting whatever. I can't just pull something out of my ass on this one, but because you need to, it's a very specific about what the purpose of your community is. But the bottom line is it needs to be something that a collective can move towards and that people can unite on. And that's just going to make you get way better results. It's going to make people more satisfied. Is that the word? I don't know if content, but just like purposeful with what they're going towards. It's not just a six-pack. Like, you're changing your life. You're going to be able to be confident. You're going to be able to whatever. It can tie back to the outcome, but now tie it back to everyone as a collective. Okay? And then you need to be that. You need to be leading that cult. Not cult, but metaphorically a cult, yes. You need to be leading that metaphorical cult by being the best example of what you're trying to perpetuate. So I think that's pretty much it for that now. I actually filmed this entire video and it didn't record before, so that's why it's about 5:30 a.m. Sun's about to go up. But if you want to see more content like this, hit a subscribe button. Or like and comment what you want to see more of. I'm going to be uploading weekly from now on. And yeah, just let me know if you like this style of content. Peace.